So I'm just taking it easy, man. Just chilling.
All right, so look, we're gonna shout out our sponsors. Seeing them eats is the best barbecue that you can get from down this way. So good, make you come back 2 times in one day. That's fact, right?
Sometimes 3.
All right. Our other sponsor, Do It For An Energy Drink. If you want to go from a turtle to a rabbit, if you want to go from a monkey to an ape,
Anaconda, from a snake to an anaconda, it'll make it happen for you.
a poodle to a pit bull, Do It For An Energy Drink. Now look, we got a guest on here right now. I'm gonna let him introduce himself. I know you probably recognize his face, but he's gonna tell you what you need to know about him. Boom.
My name is Rodney Toomer, Rodney X. I got my X now. I'm in the nation, but everybody know me from the last 35, 40 years. DJ Rawski. Started off at 93 BLX, 1989, 90. And now I'm at 107.3 iHeart. I'm a community activist and a mentor, and I'm a chef, and I'm a program director for after school activity. I've been dealing with young people for the last 28 years. I've been mentoring for the last 19 years. And
You got a long resume.
Can I say something?
Yes, sir.
From what you're saying, man, you don't look a year over 50.
I turned 60 May 22nd.
I swear I told him the same thing.
You don't look a year over 50.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing, but you're doing a great
I
job.
think it's, to be honest with you, it's the teachings of the Most Honorable Muhammad, the Islam, eating, learning how to eat to live, how I eat 1 meal a day, a lot of times, and just, just trying to keep that stress off us, because us as black men, we be stressed out, and stress adds years to your life.
See how many they added to me?
Let him say
look good.
Yeah, but I mean straight up. But I was listening to y'all turn one time.
Yeah.
I mean, let me shake your head again.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's straight up.
We've been around a long time, so I just try to live right and eat right, and that's it, and just keep staying in prayer, because especially now, you got to stay locked into something higher than yourself.
Okay,
that's crucial.
Yeah, I respect that.
Yes.
You miss Bill Lex, man? At one time, I gotta say, you, Aaron the Saint, those my 2 favorite DJs right there, man.
I miss Bill X. I'm kind of, when you speak about Bill X, Bill X is like a big brother that you always looked up to, and then when you get to a certain age, you start realizing that big brother, ain't big brother no more.
Yeah.
I feel like, as far as Bill X, like, by being Mobile and us that came up to that we should all have got an opportunity to maybe be involved in those positions at BLX that could guide the culture, like from program director to, these situations. But I feel like them always bringing people from the outside into Mobile, into this market. When we grew up, we know this market.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like a slap in the face.
Yeah, I feel you.
So it's like a divorce. When you divorce your ex-wife and she's bitter about it. I feel like I'm a little bitter about that, because every time they bring somebody else, I'm like, man, we know. And then they try to figure it out. The last of the Mohicans is going, Nick at Night. They let him go like about 10 months ago.
Man,
he was the last one. He was the last of the Mohicans, and now there's nobody there from the original set. I understand that evolution comes and people move on, but when you have a foundation like we set there, we never got the opportunity to really, all of us, to do what we do. Dirty Dan, Nick at Night. You see Arnetta, she got tired. She said, I quit this bitch. Aaron the Saint. There were so many great young artists and great DJs that were there, and they never really got a chance to evolve, and that's the sad thing about it. But that's how corporate radio is.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important that for us to have our own.
Yeah.
So we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
What's going on in the city, man? I know you're a city activist, man. I heard you the other day going live, and it was hard touching.
Yeah, that was frustrating. That was very frustrating, because I mentor young black men, and to have to bury 2 of them this past weekend, and we lost a 25-year-old young black man. He was murdered Monday, and then we lost another one during the Joe Kane Sunday. So we keep burying these young men because this gun culture is so prevalent in our community. You know, everybody needs a gun, but they got to understand, like, it's a setup.
Yeah.
Because in 2021, the state of Alabama secured $1.3 billion in money to build a mega prison. Governor Ivy, she secured that money. And if you know anything about money and bond, and when the state gives you money, you have to kind of give some of that back. You got to let them know this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So she's building this mega prison in Elmo County, and it opens up in May.
Yeah.
And it's 4,000 beds.
Yeah.
And really it's 8,000 because it's 4,000, but it's 2 men per cell.
Yeah.
So it's 8,000. So how can we fill this up? Those powers that be, mom, that's what they call it. Me mom and the rest of the coup or the clan. Now I won't say the clan, but those people that are in charge of legislation, everything, they sat at the table and probably wondering, how can we get these prisons filled? You got to get these beds filled.
There's 8,000 new prisoners.
New 8,000 new ones. Yeah.
And let me say this real quick before you finish. You know they're gonna put 10,000 people in there.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
And I would advise everybody, if you want to know the condition of the prison in Alabama, and there's a documentary going on now about the state of Alabama because the prisons have filed a class action lawsuit against it. You need to watch that. That'll show you about everything. You know, they try to make prison seem like it's a rehabilitation. No, it's big money now. You get $29,000 a piece for each inmate, and then you got them working out there in farms and sharecropping and making uniforms and everything, because I was part of that.
Yeah.
I was part of the federal, I was there 7 years and 4 months in feds for just dropping off some drugs. Never got caught, nothing. They never found him, but somebody, when 2 or more people during the conspiracy law that came out with the Bidens, and when they came out with the crime bill, that it brought the conspiracy law where if 2 more people conspired to do a criminal activity, then no, they don't have to catch you with nothing.
Yeah.
You just need 2 people to say he did it.
Yeah.
And even though I dropped it off and I did what they said, it still didn't. I got 7 years and 4 months, and never been in trouble in my life.
Wow.
Other than getting in trouble and get suspended from school, but never been in trouble. Never was a drug dealer, none of that. But because of the conspiracy law, I wound up doing 7 years and 4 months in prison, and that really opened my eyes to a lot of stuff.
You know the people that get with that? That's crazy though.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people locked up for that.
Absolutely. It's still, we lost a whole generation to that and the crack law.
Yeah.
And that was what I was part of. But getting back to where we at, so they had to get this prison, they had to meet this quota. So in 2021, they secured the funds. In 2023, Governor Ivy come out with a law where say you don't need a gun permit.
Yeah.
Because they sat there and they understood, well, we got a lot of black men and we got a gun culture that we can help thrive. So now let's do it where they don't need a gun permit. Men, many young black men, they carry guns for survival and for protection, and some of them just carry just to be carrying it, and it's crazy. And I know the answer, but how they get all these sophisticated weaponry, and we in little bitty Mobile, Alabama. Something has to be going on. But we'll get to that later. But she came out with this law. And then all of a sudden, if I'm a young black man, I'm carrying a gun, and I'm saying, shoot, I don't need no permit. Oh, it's on and popping. I'm gonna give you about 2 or 3 of them. And they don't understand that in that, and then it's also inside the music that we're listening to now. When I walked in here, your guy who set up here, we was watching the BET Awards from back in the day, and they had, Snap Your Fingers and Bo, I Think They Like Me. And all this stuff was like fun music, and I said, look where we at now.
Yeah, you don't hear that no more.
Look how they swayed, and it's so prevalent that these people that's over the record industry, they also have great stock in the private prison. So they said, well, we can't have them. They having too much fun. They dancing. They ain't trying to kill each other. We got to sway this. We got to help sway this.
Make them hate each other.
Sway this public perception and sway this music. So now we got drill music has seeped into our music. So now we was doing this and laughing, having fun. Now we on everything. Everything is about killing and everything. So everything is systematic. And they have this table. If you ever seen on TV or if you ever see social media, they got a table with a bunch of the leaders around it, and they have black people there. And they said if we ever can come off this table, off this game, then we'll understand what it is. And it's a game for them because Leo Cohen, who's over Def Jam, when he was confronted doing a podcast, they said, "Well, do your kids listen to that music?" Oh hell no! I'm not. But you're assigning young black kids that don't know better to all this money, which there ain't really a lot of money compared to the money they get, and you throw them some crumbs and think they make $1 million and $2 million, and as long as you sign the more degrading, the more horrifying and derogatory the music is, I'm gonna assign you to more money. And that's what's kind of happened. Like even our music used to be called soul music. The soul has been taken out of the music, and everything that you hear now is killing, murder, popping pills, and ops. So
and giving your pussy away.
Yeah, giving your pussy away. And they have the females acting like dudes, and everything. Her value, even though that she don't know that she's God's second self. Her value has been devalued to just how big my ass is, how big my titties are, and I'm just being 100 with you.
And I was actually, I'm not trying to interrupt. I was thinking about this when I was getting out the shower, coming over here. I was like, you know what I'm saying, the music that our young women are listening to, it's not helping them. And it's not helping the society. You know what I'm saying? And I was thinking, you know what I'm saying, we have a problem with young black males, you know what I'm saying, and a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, if we talk to the young black women and get across to them that you are the key to the young black man.
Absolutely.
If you could get him to get his mind right, you know what I'm saying, let him know, I can't be with you if you doing this or doing that. You know what I'm saying? You don't need everybody, because everybody ain't gonna listen. You know, but you get that point across to all of them, and some of them listen to it, we can help some of those kids, you know what I'm saying? Because it all ties in together.
Absolutely. Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that a nation can rise no higher than its woman. So if your woman is in the bottom, and her thinking is in the bottom, then when a woman becomes pregnant, whatever she thinks, whatever she feeds herself, it goes into the wound and the mind of the baby. So that's how it is now. Even in the wound is in our community. Our community is a big wound. And we are those different eggs that are sitting on the sides, and we're being created, we're evolving into a human being, but what is feeding us?
You're right.
So when we hear this music, no matter what, well, that music don't define me, but if I'm sitting there constantly listening to music talking about killing and ops and everything, and then I'm smoking and I'm drinking, then automatically in my subconscious is back here, and my hard drive back here is working constantly in the background with these background apps telling me next nigga you see killed, or this nigga on my side, or he in Maysville, or he in Theodore, but we are on a damn piece of land where we living at, but we declaring that this is our territory. So it has no sustenance, and if you're looking at it, it's building up, and we cannot sustain this same model in our communities. So that's why in the nation we're dealing with now making our communities safer, and that's been given our pledge, and that's what's been given our orders, our marching orders by Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. We have to work with our brothers and sisters to make our communities safer. Because if our children can't even go outside and play basketball without being shot, then it's a problem.
It's a problem.
And we cannot depend on nobody else. The city council, the government, the police, all them. It comes back to us.
That's right.
I said this on our last episode, because the young man that got killed out there on, was it Moth Road, I think, out in that area, West Mobile. It was a lady got on TV and said that she don't even allow her kids to go to that area of her own neighborhood because it's so dangerous.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the brother, young man that got shot.
And I just don't.
She said she's from Chicago. But she still won't let her children in. She came from the murder Chirac.
I just don't understand. In 2026 in Mobile, Alabama, you know what I'm saying, when you got a woman on live TV saying that she don't let her kids go out of her own neighborhood because it's too dangerous, and you get somebody killed in that same neighborhood. And I was telling Pine that this has been an ongoing situation, because this ain't just something just happened. It's been going on.
Absolutely.
So that lets you know it's a lack of protection, a lack of service in that neighborhood, because they got issues that's been going on, and you get somebody killed out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying ain't nothing gonna never be perfect. But we got to work to try to do the right things when we can, especially when we know it's a problem.
And it falls back on us. If you ride around talking about me and my boys for his licking and be drinking, come on, bro. We can't, you 35, 40 years old, and you see a young man, you know. Because we know, because we was him. You see a young man that needs some guidance. But you scared, or you don't, man, ain't my problem. And it is your problem. Because it's going to come to your porch and bite you on the ass. And we can't wait to that. Then when it comes, then you want to be active.
All upset and mad about it. You want to do something about it when it's too late.
Exactly.
And that's why I've always said on this podcast, however we can label it, that when I get an opportunity to talk to a young man, I'm going to talk plenty of shit. I'm going to say some crazy stuff. But when it really come down to it, I'm going to do my best to tell him what's right.
Yeah.
Even if he don't do what's right, I'm gonna let him know that I want him to do what's right.
We have to talk their language.
Yeah,
And the most important thing is we have to meet them where they at.
Exactly where they
at. We can't come over here like we just popped out of heaven. And I'm 50 now. I'll be 60 in May, and I still have issues.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But it's just some certain things that I just can't do no more.
Yeah, you're right.
But we still have issues, and by our experience, about us going to jail, you can talk this. You can talk this life. You can talk these things, and you can drop these seeds in these young people's minds so they can cultivate, so they can at least see the decision, because many of them are head first to and straight to a straight brick wall. But we can give them shortcuts, and the shortcuts you got to just pull them to the side. And a lot of these young men, they just need somebody to care.
Yeah, care. That's all.
Just show you like I care. Hey, if you just tell them, hey, come ride with me. We gonna go. We go downtown. We go to Heroes. Just eat.
Yeah.
Just sitting there eating, and hey, tell me about yourself.
Yeah.
You won't even, you can't even fathom how far that would go in this young person's life. And then knocking these walls down, because he got walls up. Because I had walls up. Because I came from a single parent. My dad divorced my mom when 6 years old. She called him cheating, and from that point on, my dad remarried. And every time he would say, "I'm coming to get you," or "I'm gonna come to see you," or "I'm gonna take you this," I'd be sitting out there waiting. He never showed up.
Yeah.
And you know what? Every time he didn't show up, it made me angry angry. And then my mom was there, and me not knowing no more, she's the only person I could see that was an responsible adult that I could take my anger out on. So oftentimes I took it out on my mom and disrespected her and everything. But my mom is from that old school, so there's only so much I could disrespect. When I say disrespect, I ain't mean call her out or nothing. I mean stick my mouth out when she said go do something, or I
roll your eyes.
And then when I did that, I had to look around. But something was coming, because she's gonna throw something and bust in my damn head with it. So that's what it is, and you know, and I made this point on the live. I think a lot of times that these single moms, they get a bad rap, because as soon as you see this social media poster from the news about a young black boy, first thing down there, everybody, 90% of the comments are parents. It's the parents' foster parents. That's a lie.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not, don't get me wrong. It's some of them happen. Some trifling parent, but the percentage is very small. Because listen, my mom brought me up right. She told me no to drugs. She told me don't steal. She taught me all that. But when it came time for me to say, when my cousin fiance said, "Man, you drop this package off, I'm gonna give you $300," that was my decision.
Yeah, your decision. And you knew it was wrong.
And I knew it was wrong because my mom said, "Hey, if you know, like, you wrong, I'm not gonna come get you out of jail. I'm telling you right now." And she always pushed that to me. But at the end of the day, I made that decision. When I made that decision, it cost me 7 years and 4 months out of my life.
And the decision, you made that decision because you probably needed some money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's really the most important. Well, I can say important. That's the biggest problem that we have in our community, is the lack of
opportunity,
jobs, money,
income.
It's hard for me to tell a young man, don't be fucking with that dope, man, when he ain't got a nickel. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got a nickel. And I would tell Pine sometimes, man, had some young boys in my neighborhood, and I know they need something. I give them a couple dollars, let them do something, give them a couple dollars. But at some point, I can't give you until I don't have, because you're going to put me in a situation. You understand what I'm saying? I can only tell you what I want you to know is the truth and help you as far as I can. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of times that, you know what I'm saying,
so
we just be in bad spots.
A lot of that come with want, though, man.
Yeah.
They want stuff that they can't get.
Because of what you see all the time. You see the chain, you see the gold, you see the car, you see, and that's where the materialistic thing has become a god. You know, it supersedes every rational part of thinking, where I'm gonna do whatever I need to do in order to get this bag. But you don't know the implications of what's gonna happen and the repercussions that's gonna happen behind that.
Because getting that bag the wrong way, it's a lot of pitfalls and hills and walls and grim reapers and police officers. It's everything in the way of that bag when you ain't getting it the right way.
But a lot of our young men, because I work at Strickland Youth Center, and I've been at Strickland Youth Center for about 2.5 years. And I went there not because I needed the money. I went there because strategically, because I needed to know why they keep coming back, and they keep coming back, and they keep coming back. And I realized when I got there after the first year, this is why. Because when you're a young man and you've done something, you don't have any structure at home. Either mama gonna work, or she's gonna be home. And many times the black woman has too much pride. I'm not gonna see her take government assistance. I'm gonna work.
Yeah.
So if she's working, and then if this is our community and this is mine, and you taking all of the programs, you took in all the recreation center, the Boys and Girls Club is closed in Roger Williams, the Boys and Girls Club is closed in R.B. Taylor, the Boys and Girls Club, those are closed now. So
in the worst possible place.
Yeah, and mom is at work. So when the child comes home, there's no after school for them to come to where they can get something to eat there, where they can do this at, where there's structure, where there's programs, where there's tutoring for school, where somebody's holding them accountable, where they have structure. So what's happening when mom goes and there's nothing? The streets start sleeping in. The streets start raising them. And then you got 12 and 13-year-olds. I seen it because I work at Taylor Park, right down the street, down the hill is Baltimore. You got 12 and 13 years old out at 3 or 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then at a certain point, their mom can't control them. But their mom don't want to get them locked up. So she's in a dilemma right there. So it's systematic. And, you know, I call this out and people get mad at me because, you know, I know Representative John Lewis, who was a civil rights icon, he says make good trouble. But I believe in making necessary trouble. So sometimes you got to light that fire up under their ass. And I'm talking about our city officials that we pay our taxes to. We have to light fire under their ass and let them know. And that was one of my breaking points that I made the live that you said. Because there's not a state of urgency with them. And I feel like the last man, Stanley Simpson, he was out of touch because he's a millionaire. So you're a millionaire, you out of touch because you don't know what the needs of people that don't have what you have. So it wasn't an urgency for him. So the new mayor, he's a little younger, and I'm hoping that we can form a relationship where he understands like it's urgency of the black community. And by this fool that's up in the White House right now, it's gonna get bad. And I made a statement the other day, like how many black people are our people really prepared if war was to come to hit the shores of the United States, and there's the grid, and there's no food, and it's how can we live? How can you produce? Do you have any dry goods stores?
We've been spoiled. We won't even think that far.
Exactly.
We won't even think
and
that far.
And even though this war and everything, that even some of us, the wise amongst us, know something's about to happen. We know that something's about to go. It's not going to be good. The majority of people is like when in the days of Noah. They just out there just
having a good time.
I'm going to the club this Friday, this Saturday.
Boots on the ground.
And we'll be boots on the ground, but it ain't the real boots on the ground. We'll be boots in the ground.
In the ground,
like 5 feet, 6 feet deep. And it's unfortunate. So my whole plight, my whole thing that I've been doing for the last 25 years is dealing with young people. And now that we're in such an extreme situation and these things are becoming hostile around the world, that it's even more important that these young people get a skill, not a job. Because everybody can flip burgers, but everybody can't do CVAC, air conditioning. Everybody can't do construction. Everybody can't do plumbing. The next millionaires, this is from a billionaire said, the next millionaires will be electricians and plumbers. So I feel like a lot of our kids, our young people, especially 16 years old and 16, 19, and they still in school, they done bottom out. Ain't no need for them to stay in school. And people say, you know, well, you shouldn't say that because, you know, our kids need to go to school and get a good education. That's not what we're getting.
No.
We're getting indoctrinated into white supremacy because everything you learn in school is nothing about black people. The little bit that you learn about Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King, they done took that out.
And you're not learning nothing. You know, so once you get the basics of mathematics and learning how to read,
what else you need?
And you can comprehend. If you can actually know how to, if you know how to comprehend, well, if you know how to read and do math, you can comprehend very well.
Exactly.
Once you get the basis of that, the rest of everything else you learn in high school, you're not gonna need it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So and I'm not telling nobody to quit school, but I'm saying if you're not going to school and you're of age, you need to go get you a trade. You know what I'm saying?
Someone for that.
And that's so important. Workforce development and trades. For our people, and you know it's systematic because we used to have these in our school. We used to have auto mechanic. We used to have the home economics. We used to have everything, and they took them out. And it's systematic. They did that for a reason.
I just had a plumber come to my food trailer, and he worked 30 minutes and made $150.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Cause I had an electrician come do some electrical work for me and charge me $2,500.
One of my good friends, Jermaine Gaines, has Gucci Plumbing. He gets contracts from the city. He's very successful. He has a heart for God, and he has a heart for the young people.
Yeah.
He's trying to bring these young people in and teach them.
Yeah.
One of my other mentors is named Tony Curry. He's a millionaire too, and he has international charities where he has, I don't know if you see it on a couple of my pages, but he gets all these different clothes and stuff from Gucci, from Polo, and all brand new clothes. And he's able to sell them back to the community at real low prices. Like you get like $200, $300, $400, $500 worth of stuff for like $100.
Yeah.
And he does that. So, and he's opening an auto mechanic school. So our young people, when I'm sitting there with them and we at Strickland, I'm always on their case. What you want to do? What do you want to do? Well, I just want a job. Because they want to feel like they're contributing to it, because they see their mom struggling. And if they don't get jobs, then they often get frustrated. And when they become frustrated, they become hopeless. And when they become hopeless, then they're opening their mind and everything to an idle workshop of wickedness that surrounds them. So it's easy for somebody to come and say, yeah, go this gun, or you come on with me. But a lot
it is dope, man. You get your 500, bring me 1,000.
Exactly. But what a lot of them are understanding that we know now, that the streets ain't got no loyalty to.
No.
And that's what they learning now. Like they say,
look
my homeboy, we a family. How you gonna tell on me? We supposed to have we blood, we crip, we this, we folk. But they don't give a damn about that no more, because ain't no loyalty in that. And what they learn it fast. So the most important thing that we're trying to do now is to establish. I said that I wanted to get 50 young men into trade school before the end of the summer. Well, it's been an overwhelming support for this. Like, I've had people come, hey, I want to get my 2 sons, I'm gonna get my 3 sons. So we're getting it all together now, and we're gonna get them in there. But one thing I've learned by doing this work over the last 25 years, you can't save everybody.
No, you can't. And I'm telling you, I was saying that you can't save. You got to save the ones that you can. And everybody else, you can't go down with the ship trying to save everybody.
And also, you can't save the world, because the world don't want to be saved. It's like we got some young black men, they just don't want to do right.
And that's it. And we got to learn to be able to see them. And say, I'm gonna leave you in the Lord's hand.
And I can never give up on them. But I can't continue wasting that time and energy.
Resources.
But I got one over here that's really needing it. So that's another point. And oftentimes what we're missing is that when these young men want to do right, and they say, well, first thing that I'm setting up a situation now where as soon as they get out, first thing they're gonna need is ID. So we take them to the DMV and get them ID. The second thing we need to do is to be able to vet where they at in their life as far as school. If they 16, 17, and the school is not doing anything else for them, let's get you a GED first, and then let's get you a Bishop State, let's get you here, let's get you there. Because they have but the most important thing is, when we do that, they gotta understand they ain't got no transportation to get there.
That's true.
They ain't got nobody constantly there on a daily basis. And that's where I'm at. See, I got 2 group texts. I got a group of 27 young men. I got a group of 17. And anytime that I'm constantly sending out inspiration to them every day, and I'm asking what they need, where you at? And like you said, I spent, my wife be like, every time I turn around, you spending money on these. And I know that it's not good. But if a young man, like the other day, I had like $75, and a young man, I know he worked hard. I know he came out of Strickland, named Isaiah. He started working at McDonald's. He got his check. It was $200. He had his cap and gown. He about to graduate, $250. DJ, I need $50, man. I got with $200. I gave him my 50 and I kept 25. My wife was like, but I understand. Like, if I don't do it,
he gonna be resorting to something else to give.
And by me doing that, just being honest with you, every time I do that, God gives it back to me.
And you know what the most important thing that you do when you get him that $50, you get him a idea that, man, everybody ain't bad.
Exactly.
And he gonna take that and he gonna help somebody one day.
And that's what. And I told him, I said, everyone that I give money to, I said, you owe me. And you owe me not to go back into that same behavior. And you owe me to be great. That's what I tell them. I don't tell them you owe me my money back. No, I tell them that you owe me to do better, because I'm investing in you and I believe in you. And I think that's the most important thing. If we tell them, I believe in you, I know you're gonna do it. You have to talk that. You have to speak that life in them. At every point you can. And there's a lot of single mothers out here that need help. Some of them too prideful.
Who on the city council, man?
CJ Small, Corey Penn.
I heard you say, excuse me, Corey Penn, he always backing.
Corey Penn is the champion.
Yeah, I heard you say that. Because I looked at that live too.
I'm saying, why you feel like they can't understand what
I think some of them, understand. I see some of them just out of touch because they're not in our culture. Yeah. They're not us.
Yeah.
But
that's what I wanted when I asked you.
And some of them are there.
Yeah.
You know, but I know for a point, Corey Penn, if we had 7 Corey Penns on there, we'd be all right.
Yeah.
But that's and everything you gotta have resistance.
Yeah.
Therefore, you can't know what you're working with.
Yeah, because if you got everything you wanted all from the get-go all the time, it wouldn't be working.
Exactly.
You be doing something, you be helping the devil.
But I'm asking every black man that's watching this podcast, you know somebody.
Yeah.
You know somebody, just like we know somebody, that a young man that you see every day, whether you see him on the street or you see him somewhere, you like, I see, he needs some, but that ain't my problem. Yes, it is your problem. Because it takes a village. Yeah. That's an old statement, an old narrative, but it takes all of us. And I think for us, we have to stop being selfish as black men and just spend some time, find just one, and make that your project and make it until he gets to the point where he's evolved, because we cannot sustain this model in our community where we just gang banging and shooting and killing and thinking and getting money by robbing and all that. That model can't sustain. It will not sustain. God will not let it go sustain.
And it's only hurting us.
Exactly.
And you know what I'm saying? It ain't like it's, you know what I'm saying? It ain't hurting nobody else. It's just this problem we got it's our problem. This ain't everybody's problem, because if it was everybody's problem, everybody would try to fix it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And let everybody know. And you out, they always hear me say, and I talk bad sometimes, not bad, but I just tell how I feel. We got to do better of us. You understand what I'm saying? Because if we don't handle us, everybody else just on the outside just gonna look and say, well, we just let them handle their problem. That's their problem.
Until they reach out to the start going into the white community.
And when they go down, you ain't got to worry about it being fixed, because it'll be fixed instantly.
And harshly.
And the other thing that I was kind of disappointed about the mayor and about, what they said they was gonna do. They said they was gonna form a task force.
Mm-hmm. I seen that.
That wording.
Yeah, I seen that.
That wording is a negative connotation, because if you ask anybody black, when they hear task force, they think about jump out boys, harassment, arrest and everything. So when they came out with that kind of let me know like you're a little out of touch with the reality. Now, if you come with another name and you come in with an olive branch name that lets black people know that, like, we're not coming to try to attack you, we come to try to help. Then you'll be more receptive to what's going on. And that's the other thing I was telling you about. The task force they had. Nobody on that task force was under 20 years old.
Man, listen, I think you heard us one day. We talked about this on this podcast, and I told them, I said, the only problem that I have, the people that's on that panel, they don't know what's going on in the street.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You got to be, your feet got to be on the ground with the people.
You got to have the people at the table that have the issues.
That's what I'm saying.
They can tell you, these are our problems. This is why we're doing this. This is why we're doing this. And until you have those young people at the table, you're going to continue to lose. You're going to continue.
You got to be helped. You can't play football with coach football with baseball coach.
They might not want to do nothing. They might just want to look like
and a lot of times that's what it is, the optics of it. If it seems like I'm trying to fix a problem, that's gonna solve the problem that we get.
And that's when we set fire to that. That's when I set fire, and that's when I said what I had to say. And it's not to put nobody down, but we have to do better. And even the ones that look like us, it ain't about no paycheck. If you're gonna sit there and just collect a paycheck, you need to get the fuck out of the way. And I excuse my French, but
you don't think that'll make it harder though?
What?
Well, just say if you had somebody on a break in the council, like I'm finna work with him, you don't think that'll make it harder?
As far as what?
By them just off of what you were saying, you don't think it just add more resistance? Maybe you change somebody's mind who was finna be on board.
Well, some do and some don't. If you understand that what I'm saying is coming from a passionate place, I'm passionate about what I'm doing, and they know it, because if you don't think that I'm sincere about what I'm doing, you gotta check my track record.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I've been doing this for the last 25 years. Like I've been consistent. I got receipts for everything. So it comes from a really place of frustration.
Yeah.
Because every young person that dies, That's the urgency. That I feel like it's my responsibility. Even though some people say that ain't your real, that's not your fault. I feel like it is because I carry these young men every day in my spirit. You know, when you carry people and you know people on a daily basis, and you know young men, it's hard when somebody dies.
And not to cut you off, but especially when people like that ain't your problem, but you gotta understand that kid has people that love him to life.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So in every situation where somebody get killed unnecessarily, somebody's devastated. You know, I'm talking about their life, their world seems like it's gonna end.
And they traumatized.
Forever.
And they carry that trauma.
For the rest of their life.
And what they don't understand is like these young people, these young men that's out here in the streets and everything, they walk around with trauma now.
Yeah.
And that's one of the main problems, that is the issue that's going on. They're going around with trauma that has not been checked.
Yeah.
They have not had a person that they can sit down and go through therapy. You know, and then not necessarily not even just that. We have generational trauma that's been passed down even through slavery, and it keeps coming and it keeps evolving and it keeps bringing us down and killing us and then bringing us into like a real low state of vibration.
I said this when I got in the shower. So on the same conversation about the music, I said most of the time we are living in the same cycles and circles our parents lived in.
Absolutely.
Because we don't see no different and we don't know no different.
Absolutely.
And when you don't see and know no different, all you know is to do what you seen. And for the most part, we see wrong shit.
Every day.
We don't see nothing that's gonna make us better people. Like we said a couple weeks ago, man, we have to learn from mistakes and walls we have to jump over.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, those walls be too high and those holes be too deep for us to get out of. You know what I'm saying? And when you get too deep, cause ain't nobody helping you. You just stuck right there.
Just stuck.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, at the end of the day, man, we as a people just gotta try to do better.
And I think one of the other things we have to do, we have to have a real discussion about race in Mobile. And like the reason why, because, you know, another thing, I'm always getting caught up on this social media thing, but they got to understand, like, I study and I research, and I'm not going to put nothing out there that I haven't researched. And when I say that Mobile is just a power, the power just continues, but it passed down through one side. And when I say about employment, about finance, about jobs, about housing, all this is still a racial disparity in Mobile. And when I said that, they was like, oh, you're racist and everything. But then I had to put the receipts out, because you got to remember, I'm never going to post nothing that I don't. So in 2021, the University of South Alabama came out with a study. And if you are out there, you can check it out. The University of Alabama came out with a study from 2021. Just, you can Google that. And it tells about the racial disparity in Mobile, and that is systematic, and it's still going on, and the gap is getting wider and wider right now. So when I say that, when I put that University of South Alabama study on my thing, it was crickets. But before I did that, I'm racist. You're always trying to bring up the race card. You're always trying to divide. But I'm not trying to divide you, but I got to tell the truth. And a lot of times the truth is kind of hard for some people to swallow. Like when they call me racist, that's crazy, because to me, racism, you have to be able to dictate, you have to have power in order to deny another ethnic group of anything, from politics to finance to housing, and I have no power to be that. But when you're talking about racism is past, it's not skin color. And if it's skin color, then skin ain't ever lynched nobody. Skin color ain't ever put sick no dogs on nobody. Skin color ain't ever did that. But this is what causes racism. The mindset. And the mindset. And when you think you're better than me because of your color, then
that's the problem.
The only thing that I have to come with you is when I'm dealing with truth, I got truth and I got history on my side. So when I start busting in your head talking about, well, the original people were black people, and then the original people being from the beginning, and the original people taught you all, the Caucasian, they taught you in the seats of Africa about astrology, about science, about math, about medicine. And then I got truth to back me up. That's why they're trying to eliminate that history and that truth. So when you got that, then they can say, no, we've never done that before. And we have to deal with that. But that's the truth. And your children are not learning the truth. I'm talking to the white audience now. And if you're not teaching your children the truth, then they just mad thinking these black people just just popped up like this. They are violent. But it's a reason why. It's systematic. Just like you know about the housing and everything. When they excluded the black man had to get out the house, and they left the black woman in the house. So now the black woman comes up with this feminine movement where she's saying, I'm independent now, I don't need no man. How in the hell can you get your mind right to say you don't need a man? Because if you don't need a man, then you're trying to stop the way that black people multiply, you can't procreate without a man.
And the thing about when a woman does not have a man, she's not as strong as she can be.
Absolutely.
When you got a couple together, they can literally
that's a power
dominate.
Dynamic.
You can dominate.
Absolutely.
But one or the other, I'm talking about men and women, because you hear a lot of men say, I ain't messing up, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just do what I do. It's both sides of it.
Absolutely.
But you find somebody that love you and you love them, and y'all create that couple, man, you can accomplish a lot of things together. Don't let nobody fool you, but I'm gonna give you this, and if you leave him, nah, baby, we need to do this together.
I understand a lot because we know the majority of women mature faster than men.
Yes.
And we got some grown men out here that still acting like boys.
50-year-old men acting like boys.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, when we're talking about our woman, right? And we're talking about how the woman is. You know, I had to make it a post, and the post kind of went viral because I said, you know, women, you know, how you dress, you know, like a man, he'll have sex with you, he'll be with you all the time, but when it's time to get a wife, you won't be the one.
Yeah,
you dress provocatively and everything, and man, they went off. They was like, nigga, you don't know what you talking about. But I told my daughter, me and my daughter had a conversation, and she's like, Dad, me and my brother got it because he got mad because what I was wearing. I said, when you wearing and you have barely wearing something, you set him up to be murdered.
Yeah, you setting him up to defend you for what you doing.
Exactly, because if me and you together and you got your ass out, and you got your breasts out, and the first man that walked past and said, God damn, you fine. Mm-hmm. Then I feel like I got to check in because of respect. Yeah. But you the problem.
Yeah, you the problem.
Because you want to be half naked, and then he say, man, don't talk to my woman. He's like, well, damn, look what she dressed like. Yeah. Then it's a problem. Then they say, bam, he's dead. Yeah. All because what? Because you want to do what? I tell my daughter all the time, I said, when you go into the jewelry store, when you go into Goldstein's, when you go in there, where the most valuable diamonds at? Yeah. Where they at? They're not in the front. They're not hanging on the little thing. Mm-hmm. They're back there on the lock and key. Yeah. That's the same with you. Yeah. The most valuable thing that you are is a woman. God made you beautiful, made your shape, made you made you outstanding. I mean, a man could just be to left church and full of the Holy Spirit and see somebody fine and just lose his goddamn mind. Yeah. And that's just how God made us. Yeah. But at the same time, you should not put all your stuff out there for men to see like you're so much more than ass and titties. Yeah. Like you are the first, when I say the second self of God, say after God created himself out of the triple darkness of the universe, so teaches us. Then he made himself, made a second him, and you're the female. That's why you're so intuitive about what things going on and what happened. When grandma said, baby, don't go to that thing, or your wife said, don't go over there. She already know because she already has a direct link to God himself. And that connects her. But they are so far removed from God because they have taken on the mindset of this Western civilization.
Take me through that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So when you see the Nation Islam, you see the sisters dressed in their garment, beautiful sisters. Yeah. The MGT, beautiful sisters. And they say, I ain't gonna wear that. Ain't nobody can't see nothing. Listen what I say. Can't nobody see my shape in that. You automatically thinking wrong. Yeah. You want a man to see your shape, so you automatically value yourself to your shape and your lips and your ass.
And your brain ain't been that cooked.
And at the end of the day, I don't care what nobody say, ain't no man gonna marry no woman that everybody been with. Yeah. He want the one that ain't nobody been with. He want that one that's on the lock and key in the back of the store. Yeah. And that's just being honest with you. That man, a real man, gonna tell you that. Now, boy, be like, I want that right there. Yeah. You know, I want to show what my girl got.
Until he becomes a man and realize that what he think he wanted causing him more trouble and heartache and pain than he ever imagined he had.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So that's basically the bottom line, man. And I just know that we are in a state of urgency and emergency for our young black men. They want to work. They want something else. A lot of them just trying to fit in. And when they leave out the house in the morning, they put a mask on because they have to be. It's so much peer pressure on them to be something other than what they not. But when you get them in there and they see them, and I will go back because every 10 minutes I got to go past their door and do a check and look in there and make sure that they ain't killed themselves or nothing when I'm in Strickland. And many of them in there, they look so hurt. They look so disconnected. A lot of them in there crying, and then you finally see the real them. Because see, fire, if you put fire on something, fire gonna always break something down to this original form. And that fire comes oftentimes when it comes in the trials and tribulations of you being locked up and you being in a room for 21 hours a day and you can't come out. You're in there like an animal and it's nasty and it's dirty in there. And you can't call mama, or you can't go to open the refrigerator, or you can't go in and take a shower, or you can't go play your game. You're in a room. So when you see them in that room and I look at them, And I always tell them, I always challenge them, because some of them be in there like they having fun. I say, you complacent, you all right, you all right? No, I said, stop acting like you having fun in here. And then the second thing I say to them is, you see, I said, come here. They'll come to the little window and I said, I want you to just do one thing. I want you to look around in your room. Look where you at. Look where you at. Do you see where you at? This is where you want to be the rest of your life. I said, look around again. I said, look what you're doing. Look, is this what you really want for the rest of your life? And they sit there and they have to think about that. And they think. And then they start, that's why they give all these books out in Strickland, novels and, you know, books that ain't doing it. Yeah. I give them books that I know. And one of the 2 books that I've given them that really I seen them young men kind of turn is Niggas to Gods.
Yeah.
They got Niggas to God book 1 and Niggas to God book 2. I gave them that. I give them Message of the Black Man. I give them Conspiracy to Destroy Young Black Boys Through Education. I give them a certain bunch of books and they read them. And then I question them. And then I ask them. And the ones that read them, when they come out, I be on them. As soon as they come out of Strickland and go home, I'm calling them. What you need to do? Let's get you. And the 9 times out of 10, we have a 93% success rate that those young men that been reading them books and everything, they don't come back.
Yeah.
So I know it works. So the plan is when they come out, to have a re-entry transition coordinator. And I've made this position for myself. So when they come home, the first thing I'm gonna do the first day, when they come home, we're going to get you an ID. The second thing we do is going to assess where you at in school. Do you need to go back to school, or we need to get you a GED class? And when you get in a GED class, we go to GED class in the morning. That evening, we're going to get you a part-time job.
Yeah.
So if I'm in a GED class and I'm getting that in the morning, then as soon as I leave there, I got to go to work, and I get off at 10, 11. When I get home, what I'm going to do? So I'm alleviating the problems about going out in the streets. So this, like I told you, the 7 young men, these 7 young men that just left Strickland. And they all were staying at their homeboy house because the mom let them stay there. They're all sleeping in one room, sleeping on the floor, on the bed and everything. Because they did not want to go back home, because they know if they go home, that gang life, that structure, that ain't no structure there. They said I'd rather be with each other, where they know that they got to stay on each other. They got the men sharpen men like steel sharpen steel. So they're together. So by them being together, it's good for me, because I'm able to take them to service with me on Sunday, and I'm able to come there and talk to them, and I'm able to take them from there to wherever they need to go to handle their business. But they need somebody on a daily basis. And everybody ain't got that compassion and that empathy to be able to do that on a daily basis. But I do. So I know if it was 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 of us that can do that, then we can change. Them young men will not keep coming back and back in Strickland, because they have something, our structure, and they have a sense of urgency, and they have a sense of, this is what I need to do first. This is what I need to do now. And then, and it works. So I'm going in front of the city council Tuesday and give them this thing. I done gave them the 25, 26 youth agenda, where I always give them solutions. Because everybody normally that goes in front of the city council is complaining about what they're not doing.
What's their solution? If they don't use your solution, what's their solution? No solution?
That's a good question, because I gave all them a booklet, and I didn't hear from anybody but one person, Corey Penn. Yeah. And Corey Penn was willing to give me $5,000 to get started. Yeah. You know, just like this other thing I did about, and I'm gonna go ahead and close out and let you go ahead. I did something where I was telling them about community businesses, holding them accountable. Because in our community, you have Chinese, you have Pakistan, you got Arabs, and you got Indians in our community. All of them, you go in every community, that's the stores, all of them have these stores. And they're able to get these business loans when they come to the United States, as long as they set up in the black community. I don't know if you know that or not. As long as they set up in the black community, we're gonna give you a business loan. But we can get a loan for school, we can get a loan for a car, but we can't get no business loan. So that lets you know it's systematic again. So what I was saying to us, you know, they in our community. In the 60s, the dollar in the black community used to stay in our community at least 6 months. Then it went to 6 weeks. And then when integration came and we were able to go and eat and drink and stuff with other people that's not us, then all our shops and everything closed down. And then we had to go out, and then our money went from 6 weeks to 6 weeks circulating out in the community. Now, you know, in 2025, you know how long the dollar stays in the black community?
Couple hours.
6 minutes.
Wow.
6 minutes, long enough to go in there and purchase that thing, because when they get our money, the Arabs, the Indians, they go to the bank. and the bank that they go to redline us and won't give us it, but they take that money, so the money's always going out. But you're a part of my community, and you're part of, and our flow, our foot traffic, our money goes straight to you. And you don't do anything to help the community because nobody's holding you accountable. So when you go into McGill, you go into St. Luke, you go to all these white schools, you go in there, you look around in the gym, you see all these rappers, all these posters, all these things of sponsors. But you go to Wiz and BC Rain, all them, you don't see none. But they set up all these community, set all these fast food things up in our community and all that. So I proposed, before Christmas came, I said, let's go and give these communities, these different businesses, a letter, say, hey, you're part of our community, and we want you to be a part of it, so we want you to invest on a quarterly basis to give back and put it in a bank account and be transparent with those needs of those clubs or those football teams or those people that are in our community that might need that money, might need something to help them to get over, they're able to go into that pot. And I said, before we do that, we'll set up a community forum where we bring these businesses and we have a big town, a big community forum, and we come in and we sit them up there and we ask questions. Say, hey, look, y'all are with us. Whether you are part of this community, you don't feel like you're part of this community because you're getting money in our community. So we're asking you on a quarterly basis, hey, let's take $100, let's take $200 from your business and put it in this account. There's a community account. And be able to, we want you, because you own these business, to be part of a board where, when it's time somebody come here, we want to see if we can get some money for this, then you're part of the board that we're able to pass this out, get this money out, and you're going to okay it and everything. But you can't keep taking money and taking it out. We just can't do it. So I came up with this, and I did the letter and everything. But what I didn't know, that when you go to the bank and you want to set up this kind of this kind of bank account, you have to have a 501c, and you have to have these things set in line. So these people that I was asking when I did the community, when I was made the post about this, because community and that social media is so important for us about getting the word out. They was like, oh, I'm with you. Black people, we always at first. But then when I said, okay, can I get you to do this? Can I get you to do that? Man, I got something to do. Can I get with you next week? And out of all the people, it was like 200 or 300 comments. I'm in. But when it came time to do it, I had maybe 1 or 2 people. So I'm not gonna do that. I already see how it is. I'm not gonna do this by myself.
Put multiple stress on it.
I'm already trying to deal with these young people, and then I'm trying. But I'm understanding because God gives it to me. He gives me this, and He tells me to lay it out. But we need other people to stand up and step out. But that's how we are. We always in the background saying, "I'm with you." We cheerleaders all day. But when it's time to put the work in, because the only place work comes before success is in the dictionary. Success comes before work is in the dictionary. That's because the S before the W. But in real life, you got to work in order to be successful. And that's where we at. But until we able to do this, where people gonna accept a piece of this lane to do it, it's crazy. Because I'm Michigan Avenue. They have a Chinese soul food restaurant. And I'm still trying to wrap my head around here. Like, they take our culture, they rebrand it and put some black people in the front of it and sell our culture back to us, and we will knock the doors down getting in there. But they not giving any money back.
That's true.
This Chinese place sells fried chicken, cabbage, grits, eggs,
pig feet,
collard green, pig feet,
neck bone,
everything, fried fish. And they selling it back to us, and they're in our community, but they ain't get not one fucking dime in our community. They just taking the money, and nobody's saying nothing. The chop suey place on Michigan Avenue, they be lined up, and I was tripping because for like 10, 15 years, wasn't no garbage can there.
I know,
And I was trying to figure out where the damn garbage can at. What they doing with the goddamn garbage? They ain't never seen no dogs around in there. I'm like, what?
And I'm in that area every day.
But the line is always there, but nobody say, hey, chop suey, can we get you to pay for Wilson Alliance? Can you help us pay for their new uniform? Can you help pay for BC Reigns, championship rings? Can you do anything? Nobody's holding them accountable, but they get money to come in our community and set up shop. Business loans. Long as it's in our community. You don't see them in the white communities, do you?
No, they ain't see that shit in there.
You don't see McDonald's and Popeye. You don't see them in the black white community. No. You see Whole Foods. You see Whole Foods. You see Whole Market in there. And it's systematic. So then when that University of South Alabama study came out, it tells you everything. Just you get a chance to look at it and read it. You be like, hell no. The University of South Alabama 2021 study on racial disparity in Mobile, Alabama. Make sure you Google it. Look at it, and you'll be blown. They break down everything from housing to. They say that us as black people, and this is what the study said. He said you can have 2 master's degrees and be fully qualified, overqualified for a job, and somebody white will get it that just got a high school diploma. And I learned that because that's what I'm trying to tell you. It tells you the facts. So when you tell people this, they be thinking the first thing they want to say, y'all you racist. How in the hell am I being racist? Telling you the truth.
Yeah.
And I noticed because when I'm at the infirmary, I work in the doctor's lounge. And when I go in the doctor's lounge, man, everybody in that doctor's lounge, I mean, plush offices, everything, all of them went to UMS school together. And half them ain't qualified. But guess what? As long as I know your son is going to graduate, just tell him to come and fill out application. I'm gonna get him in here. So they get these high-paying jobs, and the men, the young, the black men and black women, that graduate college, fully talented and everything. That's why they leave. Nobody that graduate college stay here. Everybody that graduate black, go to HBCUs and graduate from here, they haul ass because they know ain't nothing here because it's so systematic in everything. And everybody that was on Sandy Simpson's administration from Baldwin County, and you see Baldwin County is blowing up. Everything in Baldwin County. I mean, they got everything there.
I mean, it's crazy. I ain't been over there in years.
Man, you go over there, you'll be blown. They got that. What is that? What is the thing over there where they have the fair and all that? The old
Oh yeah, okay,
They got so much stuff that's going on over there. But everybody that lives over there works over here and was over here for the mayor. So they taking everything and they taking all the resources out. But now they got the new mayor here, and I say this for him, you know, he's young and he's trying to do some stuff.
Yeah,
and that's why I'm willing to work with him.
And I told Pine one day because I met him because I work with the city, and I said he seemed like a cool dude. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He seemed like he's a younger guy. He seemed.
And that's the most important thing. Right? He's young.
Yeah, and by just him talking, he seemed like you could go up to him and have a conversation. Yeah, he ain't I ain't gonna say above you, but he can see you eye to eye.
Yeah, and he was a judge, so he understands the dynamics of these young men. Why they're being like this. But we and the director of public safety, Curtis Graves, we had a long conversation the other day, and they asked me to come in and work with him, because I was mad, I was upset, I went off frustrated. But, I told him, I gave my word, I'll be willing to do that. Because at the end of the day, and everybody know this about me, my loyalty and my allegiance is to young people.
Yeah.
Period.
And I want to say this too. You know what I'm saying? We can ask for help. We can beg for help. We can, we can talk to whoever we want to talk to.
At the end of the day.
But at the end of the day, we got to be for ourselves.
Exactly.
We got to try you got to try to help yourself. And you got to try not to hurt the next man.
Exactly.
Because if we don't change the fundamental of life and the fundamentals of trying to make it in life, we can get out. Jesus could come back. It ain't gonna work for us if we don't try to do what's right for ourselves. And that start with the person you look in the mirror.
And I guess that's what made me attract me to the Nation of Islam, because the Nation of Islam teach us to do for self.
Yeah.
We can't rely on nobody. Yeah. And I've learned that over the years, and I've grown and I've evolved, and in my evolution, I understand the situation that we're in right now, and not I want to get on religion or nothing, but you can understand that in the Genesis, when God said after 400 years He was gonna come, and He's gonna come, and He's gonna come for us.
Yeah,
and a lot of us don't really understand that, because what they've done is they took the Bible and made it 75% history and 25% prophecy, when it's not that way. It's 75% prophecy and 25% history. So if you read the Bible right now, and I know a lot of people are like turned off to religion, but if you read it, it's telling you everything that's happening right now. If you read 2 Timothy 1-4, it says that where perilous times will come, when men will become lovers of themselves, lust, and being a form of godliness, but denying the power. Yeah. When there'll be lovers of each other and lovers of money, and there'll be wars going on and earthquakes and direct arbit. All this stuff is happening now, but they got us thinking about history back when Jesus did. But Jesus said that it's expedient that I go away. Jesus said this in the book, not what I said. Jesus says it's expedient that I go away so that He can come. The Comforter, He gonna come in my name. And He said that when it also says, He's gonna come as a thief in the night. So I don't know what we expected. We expected Jesus to come out the sky, because God never comes from the outside in.
Yeah.
God always comes from the inside out. So if we looking for, we are Jesus.
Yeah.
We are prototypes of Jesus, because you can change a young man and make him see the light. You can make a young man get up off his butt and let him see and walk right and hear right and think right. So we have to become those prototypes of Jesus. We have to do that. I ain't want to get into religion.
But it's good.
It ties into our spirituality.
Everything that's relevant is relevant, no matter how you bring it to it and how it comes out. It is what it is.
Yes.
And the whole purpose of the conversation is we got to try to do better amongst ourselves. And I always say this, man, and I say this on Facebook sometimes. You got to start with the person in the mirror first.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? When you walk out the house in the morning, you know, you got to have your mind made up that I'm going to tackle this day and do what I need to do, become a productive person and not hurt nobody, no matter what color race they is, what kind of job title they got, whether they homeless or rich. I'm in the world to be a better person. And if we get people to see that, everything will work out a little better. It ain't never going to be perfect, but the circles in which you live in, they'll start getting better.
And that's the thing about not getting discouraged about this work that we do. You know, we can't save the world, but we can change those who we come in contact with on a daily basis. Those people around us, we can make their lives better, and they'll make each other's lives better. It's a domino effect. But we also got to, it's hard to, if you sincere, you know, it seems like every time we pray, when we get in trouble, boy, that damn prayer be so sincere. God, I'm telling you, boy, if you don't let me get these 10 years, I promise I'm going to do right. And you be meaning that. But if we can take that when we wake up in the morning and take that prayer into us and say, God, just help me to be better today. Help me to be able to change somebody. And you get up. It's hard to go kill your brother, do something to your brother when you have that thought of God on your mind. And say, so me as a Muslim, I pray 5 times a day. So it's hard for me to get up from that prayer and have to get up and go do something crazy. It's just hard if you keep God consciousness on your mind. Now, whatever way you believe in God, that's on you. But if you keep that consciousness on your mind, it'll teach you to train. And teaching yourself to think right at all times is so small that you might not think so. If I go teaching yourself to think right as small as this. If I'm walking down the hallway and I'm at work and I see a piece of paper right there, and all of us keep walking past this piece of paper, if I'm teaching myself to think right, some say it takes 1 second, let me just grab the paper, throw it in the garbage. That's teaching yourself to think right. Because you see something out of place, you see somewhere, you automatically say to myself, I'm finna, you know, I gotta do, it ain't gonna take nothing for us to do it. You know, so it's training and teaching yourself to think right at all times.
And at the end of the day, to add a little bit to that is when the day goes and you seem like, well, the day was all right. I'm a little tired, but everything was all right. I thank the Lord for me being able to do what I need to do.
Absolutely.
No matter who, like you say, no matter what religion you believe in, there's a God involved in that.
And God loves gratitude.
Yeah, you know,
He loves you to be. If you can be thankful for the smallest stuff. God gonna bless you with some bigger stuff. He said, well, you see, he's just thankful just to be able to have some gas in his car. He's thankful just to be able to make it home right. Then I need to give you some more.
I'm gonna give you something else.
Yeah, and and it grows your. I ask God to open and expand my territory. And he expanded it because I went from like 4 or 5 young men to about 75 of them. But I feel like I'm all they got for right now. So
and in certain situations you are. In certain situations you are.
Absolutely. So that's all, you know, I plead with every young man, every black man that's out there that please just find some young man. Whatever, just find just one young man. If all of us black men in our community just grab one young man that you know is kind of in trouble or kind of on the fence, just one. You ain't got to get everybody else. If you get just one, I beg you just to get one and to just put him up under your wing and just talk to him and spend a little time with him. You ain't got to be like every day, all day. But a mentor is somebody that empowers another young person to see what his possibilities are and his capabilities. And that's all we are doing is speaking life and speaking promise into these young people. And you'll be surprised these young men ain't had no man in their life. Just put a little bit of effort and then you'll see how he changed. And that'll be the blessing right there. And every man that we change, God blesses you for that.
I can second that motion.
Yes, sir.
I feel you. I'm with you.
Yes, sir.
I'm with you. I like it, man.
Yes.
So that's it.